Hello, my name is Matthew Chan. I am the author of the TurnKey Publisher series of books. And today I want to talk about a subject that I discussed in my Volume 2, the TurnKey Publisher's Audio Publishing Handbook. And a lot of people think that when you do audio publishing, they're thinking about audiobooks. And so traditional New York publishers, what they do with audiobooks is they hire like this professional reader. They have a very good voice and they have a good diction in the way they enunciate their words and so forth. And so they hire these professional vocalists and to read the manuscript of the printed book. And while that's fine, that is very, very limiting. And so what I discuss about in audio publishing is that you are not simply limited to reading a book. To me, actually, it's quite boring. I find that the most interesting, stimulating audio programs are the ones that are not being read to you. For example, as I produce this video, if you can imagine me taking the video component out, and does it sound like I'm reading to you? No, because I'm not. I'm actually speaking on the fly. And so if I were to make this into an MP3 file and just simply have you download it to your iPod, I think you would find listening to me a little bit more interesting than if I had pre-written an entire script and try to read all that information to you that I'm going to be presenting. Does that make sense? So let me give you some ideas on what you should be working on when you're producing an audio program. Yes, I talk about audiobooks, but as we already discussed, that it's really a simple matter of having a good manuscript to read from. So I don't want to spend any more time on that. To me, what's more interesting is creating audio programs that really capture the listener's attention. And I've got some great ideas here. Can you imagine trying to capture somebody, a great speech or a presentation that someone made in front of a live audience? How about an audio course? Now, some of you know that I'm a real estate investor, and I learned a lot of my real estate investing, not just from books and traditional reason, but I also went to a lot of different seminars, and I also learned a lot by buying real estate investing courses. So, and I spent, literally hundreds and thousands of dollars over the course of years over these things. I didn't mean hundreds and thousands. I meant hundreds for a course, but it ended up being thousands over the years. But you can produce an audio course that's highly profitable, or if you've ever given a seminar or workshop and you've charged admission or tuition for someone to come in, if someone's willing to pay you the tuition to hear you present and learn from you, people will certainly buy a recorded version of that seminar and workshop. Another thing that is quite valuable is recording interviews and conversations. Again, have you ever watch TV or listen to the radio where there's two people talking? They're talking over a certain topic, and what ends up happening is it pulls you in. You're eavesdropping, and people like to eavesdrop. They like to be part. They feel like they like to be in on what's going on between two people. They can kind of spy in, if you will. And so you can also produce an audio program that's very conversational oriented and very interview oriented. Another type of audio program that you might want to consider is one that has to do with news reporting. You may want to do research on a particular subject. Like, for example, let's say you're an economist or you're an accountant or you are an attorney, but you have some expertise that you can draw from, and you want to do an audio report on or research on a particular subject for your audience. Your audience would love to listen to you present it in a simple way versus having to read it sometimes. For example, I've created this short video to deliver this piece of information to you in a short and quick fashion. I didn't try to type it out. I didn't try to make a big report out of it or turn a little booklet. I wanted to do something informal, quick and dirty, so that you can get some benefit out of it. Well, again, you can take that same principle and apply it to an audio program. And last but not least is the entertainment portion. Now, as I make this presentation, I'm hoping to make it interesting, and if I was a comedian, I'd crack a joke or two, but I don't even want to go there so I don't embarrass myself. But you may have a very good sense of humor, you may have a comedic side to you, and so you may want to entertain your listeners as you educate them. Or you may want to put in sound effects and do all kinds of kooky things like Jim Cramer. Can you imagine having sound effects in the background as you're doing presentations and so forth? So audio lends itself well to a lot of creativity. I mean, you want to draw your inspiration from the people who do radio, obviously, but it is something that you can consider, and I think that people would pay good money for. As I wrap up this video, I want you to think beyond an audiobook. Nothing wrong with audiobooks, but I'm going to tell you, what the New York publishers are doing will bore the tears out of most people. If you really want to make a name for yourself, especially if you're an unknown, you want to do something very different and very engaging that the New York publishers have really little hope of ever producing, because they're really fixated on their ways. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you in my next video.